Okay, welcome everybody. We're back for Evolution Accelerator. This is level 3, lesson 8, Deep Core Fitness Marketing System, part 8. What we're covering today is internal marketing overview and goals. We're going to get into a review of internal marketing targets. We're going to talk about why internal marketing works so well and really why it's so important to not miss. A lot of people get sloppy and they think that just doing external marketing is all they need to do for their business. And internal marketing, by contrast, is so easy and simple. The hard work's already been done up front. It's very powerful, and just there's no reason to not do it and do it well and consistently. And then we're going to go over a review of internal marketing media, and I'm going to take you through some exhibits and examples from members of ours, samples of what they've done and submitted, so you can really see exactly how this is being done by people live, out there right now, students of ours. So let's get right into it. So first, internal marketing overview and goals. The goals of all your internal marketing efforts are really simple and straightforward. You want to, number one, convert more prospects to clients. And number two, you want to develop greater relationships with existing clients so that they stay, pay, and refer to your business. The only other third goal here is really just to keep a presence, awareness, and relationship with other people that are key drivers of your business, like strategic alliance partners, influential people in your marketplace, a community that may not be a client or a prospect, but you want to keep in touch with them because it serves you to them to have them, they know who you are, and when someone asks them for referral, they recommend you as really the expert, the resource in that marketplace. So those are kind of the third kind of offset goal, but number one and number two are right here. I want to refer back to the process map. We spent the last several weeks covering external marketing lead generation, and those are all these pieces right here. And we've gone, step by step through each one of these strategies and giving you systems and tools and coaching on how to implement those to drive, leads into this funnel. And then before that, we talked about setting up the funnel and the different ways that it will convert people for you and how it works. And now we're kind of wrapping it all up by going into the internal marketing side, which is this pool here that you get of people that, for whatever reason, they opted in to your, responded to an offer, or joined your website or whatever at some point, but they've just never converted to a client, or they, for whatever reason. So they're kind of in a pool of what we call unconverted prospects. And then we also have existing clients who, they've bought and now they're with you, and so you want to do some marketing to this group as well. So we're kind of wrapping up the tail end of this process map with these pieces that make a big difference. And certainly in the beginning of your business life and career, when you don't have a database, you don't have a list, your time and energy is spent all out here and really building that, pushing, getting more people to push through your funnel and let it do the work of, converting clients and prospects to new clients for you. But as you grow and over time, as your business really, has some longevity to it, these pools right here become very large. You got now, a significant client base, and you have a even more significant base of unconverted prospects. So internal marketing has more value as you grow, and there's more people you're talking to in these pools. If you look at kind of a lifetime of business, I would spend the first year, really focusing on this front end piece once I have the funnel set up to drive it. But as I get into, year 2, year 3, I've got a significant base of clients, and I have now a list of unconverted prospects. That's where the more time and energy I put into these aspects, the more valuable return I'm going to get from my efforts. So I just want to explain that because we haven't talked about that yet, and really given where you are in the life cycle of your business, where you should put your emphasis and focus. And I think it's important to talk about in this internal marketing lesson because we're covering this stuff, and I want you to at least do the fundamental pieces here, but you're going to get the biggest return by focusing on the front end if you're a new business or you're not up to really a significant threshold base of clients or list size yet. Okay, so internal marketing targets. There's several targets. Number one is prospects. We want to, again, look at that pool of unconverted prospects, convert them to clients and customers. Second target is the existing client and customer base. We want to do marketing to them to continue to build a relationship so they stay, they pay, and they refer new people to your business. And then the third one I mentioned, strategic alliance partners. So really, and added to this could be influential people in your marketplace, high impact professionals, folks that even media contacts that you develop a relationship with, working through the publicity module we covered. You want to keep them tuned into your world, what you have going on, what things are of interest, because you want to have that top of mind awareness with these key people that can drive business to you with their referrals and their influence. So very important that you kind of add those people to the list of folks that you do internal marketing to. And you don't have to do it as aggressively. You can do more of the softer stuff, but definitely keep them in the mix. All right, so why is internal marketing so powerful? Well, number one, it maintains your positioning. Positioning is one of the most important things in staying positioned, so that when your prospect decides that they ultimately are ready to solve a problem or achieve a goal, they come to do business with you and not somebody else. You really can't force someone to have that desire be strong enough to make a change in their life. All you can do is stay positioned so that when that strikes, that they come right to you and they're not searching for someone to go to, or they're not going to a competitor or looking for alternative solutions. So, that is the goal, is to stay positioned so that when the timing is right for them, they come right to you. You also work to continually build your credibility as the expert, not just with prospects, but with existing clients. As you clients come to know you and do business with you, over time, they learn a lot, and they may get to a place where they think that they've kind of learned it all, they know it all, and that just happens. It's natural kind of development of a client life cycle. But as you continue to educate them and market to them, really in educational marketing fashion, you're training them that there is more things that they don't know about yet, that you do know more than they do, and how you're going to be able to help them and continue to support them in their goals through because you are the expert. So very, very important stuff. It also overcomes the timing issue, which is the biggest objection really in response, and getting somebody that requests your report who never responds to coming for the free consultation or for the free week of camp or whatever the case may be. When you stay marketing to them frequently, then when the timing is right for them, meaning nothing else is in the way, that desire is strong enough to overcome all the resistance in the way, meaning they've got things going on at work, with the family, whatever the case may be. That desire has to be so strong that they put that aside and make the call and respond to the offer, or go on the website, or eventually you just come into your facility. So this, by staying in touch with them, you're going to overcome that timing issue, and again maintain your positioning, so when the desire is strong enough, they come right to you. And lastly, when you use personality in your marketing, you build the brand of you, which is the ultimate USP that nobody can ever copycat and steal. And we hear from a lot of folks that as they're doing more business and they're growing, they're concerned about competitors in town opening up. Maybe they were the only really fitness provider at one point in their local market, and now there's 2 or 3 people offering fitness, different styles of fitness camps or group training or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of happens, that there can be more competition in the marketplace, but when you really build the brand that people are tied to you, to the relationship with you through personality in the marketing, and that one-to-one communication that is of direct response, then nobody can ever copy that, and they can't steal that, and they really can't compete with that because they're not you. And most of the other competitors will never be smart enough to market in a direct response fashion and really understand that. They're doing things with big logos and flyers and that kind of stuff, and it's not relationship driven marketing. So this is so important for you to do, and really separate yourself from everybody else out there. Okay, and then internal marketing media, I want to talk about the 2 key media that we're really going to discuss here, and that drive all of your internal marketing. And that's simply weekly broadcast emails, and you can alternate broadcast style emails with newsletter emails. A lot of our members now do a bi-weekly broadcast email that they kind of write themselves, and on the alternative week they do a HTML newsletter style email, and I'm going to show you examples of both of those in today's lesson. And then monthly print newsletter. And so this is also very important And you can substitute. It's important because you want to get in touch with them in another way than just the inbox. So you want to train them to to read your marketing and other media and respond to it. And particularly, someone's experience reading a letter is much different from just reading an email. Reading an email, you go and you think of how most people read their emails and therefore are reading your marketing message. They open their inbox and their first thing they try to decide is, what can I delete, because they have so much junk in there. And then once they've deleted everything, then they go, what's important. And so when you go through all this decisions that people make to read their email, getting your email read is like one of the hardest things. You're going to be pretty down on the list of priorities for them. And even when they do read it, how much time are they taking to read an email? Literally seconds, and they've got all kinds of distractions on their computer, and internet's open, and iTunes, and whatever. They've got things going on. So it's not a great media to do a lot with. It is very powerful, and you should use it. But when you want to do more relationship type marketing, and you want to deliver in a media where they're going to be able to spend more time with it and interact with it. So that's where print newsletters are so powerful, because people generally read their mail over the kitchen table. They're taking more time with it. There's no distractions like that are present when they're in a virtual environment reading email. And so it's a time you can do more in print, and there's less competition to get it delivered to the mailbox. So you don't have problems with ISPs and filters and spam blocks and that kind of thing. And the times when you need them to read a longer message to really get them to respond to an offer, that will be welcome and received if you've trained them to read your mail versus not. So it's very important to do a monthly print newsletter. You can also do it as a postcard. We do give folks in our Rainmaker system done for you monthly postcard newsletter, which is just a kind of a simple, easy way that's no hassle and easy to get out the door. But we do recommend everybody at some point go to a physical print newsletter, and there's a couple different formats you can use to that. And so we'll talk about that today. Okay, additional promotions. I just want to talk a little bit about this. And besides just weekly emails and monthly print newsletter, you should engage some additional short-term promotions throughout the year. They should be integrated 4 to 8 times a year. I would do no less than 4 times a year, really, to each target. So 4 times a year, do some type of promotion that's going to involve prospects, and you can do it just to prospects. You can also do it some promotion to existing clients, and you should look at, there may be times you kind of blend both into one, or you do a special campaign, just promotion done to convert prospects, and the same thing with clients. So some examples of that we'll talk about in a minute, but like to clients, a renewal campaign, or a special holiday sale where they can purchase blocks of services to give to friends, or family for a holiday gift. That kind of stuff. And it gives, and other events like you may have heard of our Gold Rush events, which a lot of people do. Big community-wide event seminar. Our push-ups for charity events that go out to media, existing clients, as well as prospects, friends, family. That's another great event that brings people in, keeps them engaged, keeps something fun and new happening in your community and in your business. And all of these are great examples of giving folks another reason why to respond to your offers. There's something new that's happening, something special. It's a short-term promotion or event. Generally, there's going to be some kind of deadline or deadline-driven response or event, and so that's a great piece of internal marketing. I'm not going to dig that far into that today. That's a bigger topic for another date. We're going to focus on really just the block and tackle of weekly emails and monthly print newsletter in this training. But I do want to talk about this because you need to be aware of it. And when you get to a marketing calendar, which is what we're going to talk a little about next week, you really need to be looking at integrating some additional internal marketing promotions 4 to 8 times a year in your business for those reasons. Okay, let's go to just some examples. So just to give you some more themes and examples of how internal marketing campaigns or events or promotions can be put together. Lots of things done around the new year, and you should absolutely take advantage of the new year. I mean, yes, everybody does it, but they do it for a reason, because it's so powerful. It's a time of year that folks are really thinking more about personal development, taking care of themselves, their health, their fitness, and there's a lot of buzz in the marketplace around those desires that creep up at that time of year, as people reevaluate their life and the past year and thinking about the year ahead and making plans. So you need to be there to respond to that, and so that's a very important event. Get ready for summer is another important event. People, that coming off the winter where they've gained a few pounds and they're thinking about getting in shape for the summer and being at the beach and the pool, and you want to think definitely about marketing specifically to that, because that's something people are conscious of, and they know they need to address to take care of themselves. Back to school is another big event, particularly for parents and moms. A lot of stay-at-home moms that have had the kids at home for the whole summer. Now in the fall, they're going back to school. They now have some time to themselves to take care of themselves again, if they've that's kind of gone by the wayside while the kids have been out of school and they've been busy taking care of the children in the summer. So that's a great time of year. And it's also just the time of year when a lot of people they're finished summer vacations and breaks, and now they're kind of re-engaged in thinking about taking care of themselves and doing the things that need to be done, like health and fitness, and recommitments to that. So that's a great time for all those reasons. And there's several other themes and examples. You can do events around holidays. Several, obviously, national holidays, birthdays, your birthday even, doing an event for your birthday, which is what a lot of people do, and you can see it's a great way. And you can even do kind of the business birthday or the business anniversary, so celebrating, maybe it's the whatever year anniversary of the business, how many years it's been open, and doing a special event or promotion or something around that. So those are all good reasons why to promote and to have a short-term marketing activity, and with a reasonable deadline that gives people a good reason why to respond. So there are absolutely endless opportunities and examples here, and endless possibilities. Really is just your imagination to think about it, and to start to put some things in place and do them. And we certainly have a ton of promotions around. Stay tuned into examples. If you want to ask for examples, post to the forum. I'm sure many of the people will share that are in the class some things that they've done and what's been successful. And of course, in our VIP program, we have all this stuff done for our VIP members as well. So let's go right into review the exhibits, and then we're going to give you some templates, and I've also got a couple hot sheets for you that are going to kind of help you fast track through this stuff. So first thing, we're going to talk about the emails and review some some sample emails. I'm going to share with you actually emails from members of ours, and I've gone through and just printed some off from different members. So this is from Hud Allred. He's one of our longtime clients in Dallas, Texas, and you can see this is a promotion. The subject line is Last Chance. Sean, hello Sean from Hud Allred regarding Last Chance. Today is the day. It's the last chance you can register for the April 19th New Wave Fitness 4 Weeks to Freedom Fitness Bootcamp. So this is a strictly promotional email. This is one of a few in a sequence, but I'm just sharing this one with you. It's a last chance. If you're ready to join, go here. Train smart, have fun. P.S. The deadline is tomorrow. So another reason why, and giving them a link to go right to a web page and sign up for the promotion for bootcamp. So this is like a new class bootcamp launch. So there's an example of promotion in that regard. Here's another one. Doug Jackson is a VIP member down in Weston, Florida, and I'll tell you, he's been a longtime friend of both Eric and myself for years. Before there was NPE, when I just had a fitness company, I knew Doug. Great guy, and he is by far writes some of the best email copy I know of people doing in this industry. So it's just phenomenal. He's very talented, and so this is you can see just a couple samples I've pulled. Always has great subject lines and great copy. Here's a great one. Subject: Where will you be in 12 weeks? So it's, hi, I want to remind you that if you want to do it, 12-week fitness transformation challenge this fall, to email me as soon as possible. I didn't get quite as much response to the idea of a challenge as I would have liked, and I'm still debating whether to do it or not. Just to make it clear, you can do this from anywhere. You don't have to be in South Florida. All program materials will be delivered digitally, and I'll send daily email advice for people going through the process. You know, if you want to get in shape, action is what counts. I just got off the phone with a local ER doctor who's getting started with me next week. I know fitness can make a big difference in her life, so I was really excited that she decided to commit. On the other hand, I received an email from a past client in Ohio this morning. She was afraid she said she was thinking about doing the challenge. I emailed her back. Because I care about her, I was honest with her. I told her that thinking about getting fit wasn't going to get her back in shape. I suggested that she stop thinking about it and just do it. So he just shares great stories. He continues on. I mean, I don't need to read the whole thing for you here, but again, if you want to get in shape, I suggest you just stop thinking about it and just do it. I'll finish this email to you the same way I just finished my email to her. There's no good reason not to do it. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a better time than now. It's like this. Where will your fitness level be in 12 weeks if you don't make a commitment? Where will it be if you do make a commitment? So this is a lot of future pacing and getting people to visualize themselves ahead, you know, making one decision or another. You might have heard that's a great strategy, a great type of presentation that's often made from the stage in platform selling and in public speaking. Well, he's just using the same strategy in an email. And Doug doesn't even really strategize this stuff. He just does it naturally very well. So I just want to share this with you. So anyway, you can review that. Again, PS, very simple, text only. And these are text emails, and we do recommend text emails. There's a time and place for text, and there's a time and a place for more, image-driven HTML emails. The reason they're both powerful, well, particularly why the texts are powerful, is because this is how you write emails to friends and family. And so people are they're used to getting this and engaging it because this is like what they get when a friend writes them an email. It's not a flashy like images and logos and colors. They get text. So it's a great communication and style and format for the communication to really subtly go in and communicate directly one-on-one to the prospect. This is direct response as opposed to big bold image driven stuff, which is more corporate speak, and therefore has a tendency to be a little bit more ignored because it's not generally perceived as much as one-to-one communication as this type of style. So again, there's benefits to both, and this could be an HTML email. It just doesn't have any images or colors. It's just text only. So just want to share that with you. Here's another great one from Doug. Why every Rocky and Lady Rocky needs an Adrian or Mick. 24 hours left. Hi, I was just listening to some Rocky music and thinking of all of you who've committed the 12-week fitness transformation that I'm leading. Time's running out if you haven't signed up yet. One of the things I love about Rocky movies is the fact that the Rocky character is portrayed as the real person with hopes, dreams, strengths, and weaknesses. Rocky needs his wife Adrian and his trainers, first Mick and then Apollo, to succeed. Here's one of my favorite lines from Rocky 2 when Adrian is just waking up out of a coma. Adrian, there's only one thing I want you to do for me. What's that? Win. Rocky desperately needed Adrian's support to go get the job done. In fact, before her saying that, he was about to quit. And of course, he needed Mick. And again, he's sharing stories, and he's leveraging a story and a scene in a movie that about everybody has seen, and is very powerful story. So he's leveraging that and transitioning that into, you can just see this, into all of us need support to make changes. Here's why. Here's the way to sign up, and then transitioning to his call to action, which is obviously sign up for the fitness challenge. And then going through what he's going to get, tying it again to Rocky, sharing some quotes that are powerful, again, call to action, and another PPS. You can see this is real urgency here. So I'm cutting off entries into this program tomorrow. Here's the deadline, so I know our total head count, how to best focus on each person's success. So you have 24 hours left. Don't miss this. As you'll see in the picture on the sign-up page, sometimes it's good to look in the mirror and make sure we haven't given up on being the best we can be, that we still have the eye of the tiger. So again, he's not telling them what the picture is. He's saying, as you'll see in the picture on the sign-up page, which people are curious. So that's curiosity. People want to see what is the picture on the sign-up page, even if they don't really know if they want to sign up. They're going to click to go see the picture on the sign-up page, and then they're that much closer to moving through the sales funnel to then sign up on the page and be in the transformation challenge. So you can see lots of psychological hooks, good storytelling, good transition to call to action that Doug does. Again, he's he's just really good, and he's a you know, I tell him all the time. He writes phenomenal emails, and he does it naturally. I don't, to my knowledge, he hasn't even had any formal training on this stuff. He's just always been good at it. But he does a great job, and he watches and studies and models other people that write good email copy and success, and that's really, you know, the most important thing is just to get the fundamentals right, look at what other people are doing, and just start practicing. Here's another one from Doug Jackson, how to get and stay motivated. So you can see all just great subject lines that he uses in his emails. Great, they're the great, you know, MIDI headlines. When someone sees this in their inbox, they see that they might not think of Doug all the time, but when they see the headline that's engaging, they click through and now get to read the message. So here's another one. My alarm went off at 4 a.m. today, but I didn't really need the alarm. In fact, I'd woken up about 3:40 or so with a pretty good energy and hopped out of bed at 3:58. Why? Well, I've got a mission and I've got a deadline. The mission, to help as many people as possible, the deadline. And then here he is transitioning that to talking about his own life. He shares a lot of personality and stories from his own life, and he talks about putting food on the table, having a goal, match with personal mission and beliefs, the deadline. Again, challenging people, what's your mission and how can you apply a deadline to it? So he's just sharing good, self-help, education, and kind of an engagement of his audience, of his readership, people on his email list. Again, encouraging him, giving little tips to success. So it's great stuff. Doug also shares, all kinds of things in his emails. I haven't pulled out all of, it's only so many I'm going to go through here, but things about his own life, his getting married, having a child, opening a new business. He's always kind of sharing stories from his life, which are, people. It's like when you write an email to a friend or family member that you haven't spoken with, maybe in a few weeks. It's what's going on. Here's what's happening. It's very personal communication. And that's why Doug's readers are really bonded to him and look forward to getting his emails, reading them, and he does get good response from his emails. Just does a great job. So you can see some PPS stuff and more reasons. You'll see some pics of Emily and I from our honeymoon. So here you go. There's another example of that, inviting people to do different things to engage his marketing. Let's see what else I got for you. Here's a couple samples I have from Kevin Hensel, who's a VIP member in New Jersey. He has a studio called Fit for Life. They also run group classes, boot camps, nutrition courses, all kinds of stuff. This, you can see, it didn't come out formatted great when I printed it, and I don't really know why. Sometimes that's just email, the way emails come through. But I want to read this to you. You can see this is very short blocks of copy, which is what we encourage you to do. Most of the time is try to keep the blocks of copy kind of, no more than 4 lines if you can. And you can see this is for, I hope you had a great holiday because it was absolutely beautiful. I went on overboard with brunch, and I can't wait for Christina's healthy weeknight cooking lesson tomorrow night. So again, he's reminding people about the cooking class. This is your last chance to register before it's too late. We still have a few spots. Click below to register. And then description of what you're getting. Again, call to action. I'll see you there at my place. You don't want to miss this. Learning to cook is the key to achieving your health and fitness goals. So again, he's inviting people into his home with him and his wife. Kevin just got married a year ago. I don't know when. Does the email go out before or after his wedding? Let me see. This is, after his wedding. So he got married in October of 2009. So this is dated April 5th, 2010. So again, he's inviting him into his home with him and his wife, sharing cooking classes, really community building stuff. And this is sent out to both clients as well as prospects, strategic alliance partners. So it's almost like a personal invitation to a party, a dinner party, which is just great stuff. Let me show you a couple other examples. Here's another one from Kevin, and this is with just a simple photo. So this is dated February 10th. I hope you're surviving blizzard number 2 here in the Northeast. Here's some good news to make you feel warm and fuzzy during this evil snow day. Be safe if you have to venture out today. So why is Pam standing on my back? So he's got interesting photo, and here's using one image in the email of the photo, and you click on the photo and you'll go to a page that see more information with the photo as well. But a funny photo, which is also something you send to your friends or family, is maybe a photo from some event or something happening. So here he says, I'm glad you asked. I've got some exciting news to share with you. I'll be sending you all the info next week. So it's just a tease for an upcoming promotion, but he is leaving a little bit here. If you'd like an early bird look at what's coming, watch this quick video here. And again, this is was start of the early bird kind of promotion tease for his Pushes for Charity event. Again, one of those additional internal marketing events or promotions that Kevin is running throughout the year for community building, engaging prospects, his client base, really everybody. And that's a great, if you're not in Pushes for Charity, it's a great promotion. Encourage you to check it out. Everybody's had a great time with it. And we're really excited. We're going to be offering another class of that in the summer for the fall season, for fall Pushes for Charity events. Okay, what else have I got for you here? A couple more samples. Oh, this is just a sample of our done-for-you HTML newsletter that we provide to Rainmaker members. It's a bi-weekly, every other Tuesday, I believe. It's a HTML email newsletter. So typically people will use this on one week, and on the alternative week write a broadcast email like what I share with you. And so this is text, but it combines a little bit of image stuff. We usually merge a headshot. This actually came out of the demo account where Jill is listed as a user, so you can see Jill's photo here. And we have a brief intro, relationship building, usually an article, so this is content. Then we have calls to action on a sidebar here. First one is request a consultation, refer a friend, and then submit your story for client of the month. So we're doing 3 calls to action here, and they're always there, the same one. So it's kind of they're programmed to get this on a regular basis. And then we have, you can see, a quote corner, just providing some inspiration. A lot of people enjoy quotes, respond to quotes. A recipe, there's always a recipe here for some healthy meal, and sharing that, tips, and usually sometimes we have a couple other items in here, but this is another format of an email. Again, HTML, it's a little bit of image style, but also good copy and direct response with the 3 primary offers. If somebody's getting this, they should either respond to a consult, refer a friend, or share a success story to become a client of the month. So this is a good way to do emails, and you can alternate different styles of emails, having some that are newsletter driven with a standard format like this, with the text style broadcast type messages we've covered so far. So those are some great examples of email marketing and how to do email marketing right. What I want to also cover with you is just briefly share, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I've got a email marketing hot sheet for you, which is kind of going to give you some tips on crafting these emails. And so you can read through this stuff. The really good tips are: use plain talk. You want to write like you speak, not like your English professor told you you have to write. So it should be very kind of one-to-one, just like you'd write a message to a friend. That's this type of style of communication and tone you want to use. Use short sentences, so they're not too long. Again, these are emails, so the attention span is really short in reading emails, so you got to keep it kind of tight, and use kind of short words and action verbs for that. So again, you can read through some examples here and tips we're giving you, and to use good subject lines. Probably the most important thing with an email. We've tested a lot of stuff ourselves, and the most important thing with emails is the subject line. Good subject line, because there's only 2 things that can happen with an email. Number one, as long as it gets delivered, which is another issue, but we'll leave that one off the table. Once it's delivered, they're going to either open it or not open it, and if they open it, the next action is they're going to click on a link or not click on a link. So really what you're measuring is delivery first, but then open rate and click-through rate. Those are the metrics that that you use to measure email marketing response. And by far the biggest variable that controls those metrics is the subject line, because if it's not opened, then there's no chance it can be clicked through. So really, you've got to get it opened first, and then it's a percentage of those that are going to convert. So the subject line, just by where it is, in the metric, if you can't get enough people open it, there's no way they're going to click through. It's why it's so important. So look at some of those Doug Jackson examples, and even some of those other ones that are just short ones that last chance, first name, that kind of thing. Some personalization in the subject line, That's good not to use all the time, but to mix it up with that as well. Here's some different things about email copy and different tone and inflection, how to communicate that in email using caps, parentheses, spacing, that kind of stuff, using different punctuation, and then some other tips on doing emails. It's a great program we use. You can download a trial for free, and then if you want the ads to go away, it's like $10. Called textpad.com. Or the program's TextPad. The URL to download is textpad.com. So I recommend you check that out, and you can adjust the settings in there to do word wraps at 50 characters, which is kind of standard now for email width, although there's times to break the pattern and have the emails go all the way across, just like you'd normally send an email. And you saw some examples of that here. So there's times to do both for pattern interrupt, but generally speaking, that's good to have the width not too far. It will help get better readability. And then here's some different ideas to rotate conversation in the emails. You can talk about client success stories. You can share your take on the latest health and fitness trends or events or news. You can talk about upcoming events and happenings in your community and facility and your business. You can share good stories, lessons of working with clients, that kind of stuff, and success tips. You can talk about pop culture, common questions you get every day on health, fitness, and nutrition. And you can also address and start overcoming objections you hear people make in regards to taking the next step. So a great example of this one right here is the Doug Jackson email, when he said that one client emailed him and said she was thinking about it. And he said, well, don't think about it, do it, right? So what's he doing? In that he's overcome the objection to response. So that's another good one. Again, you want to alternate these different types of content and ideas to have them be the most response, and then make sure nothing goes out the door without an offer, with the rare exception. There's times just to send emails, with really no call to action, but most of the time you want to at least have tucked in there somewhere, even if it's just in the PS, a soft offer, as opposed to a hard offer with a deadline and really, driving it hard. At least a soft offer, so if a prospect read it, enjoyed it, they have immediate place to click and, request a consultation or come for a free week or whatever the case may be. So, and then use definitely the broadcast emails to share your personality and interests, build a relationship. Think about the things that you write, and when you're writing emails to friends and to family, and what you would say to them, and, things you talk about. You want to weave that in, because it is a relationship. You have the power to do a one-to-one, communication and develop a relationship here in this marketing medium. So take advantage of it. So some great email marketing tips for you. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, next we're going to talk about newsletters, and so. I'm going to show you an example of a print newsletter that we give to our VIP clients. So this is a done-for-you print newsletter they get every month. This is a very old one. This is October 2007. And we're always tweaking the format a little bit, but for the most part, most of the main pieces stay the same. So I'm going to show you an example of this, and then we're also giving you a template that's blank, and so that way you can use this and kind of tweak it up and use it for yourself. So you've got a done-for-you template here. This is a Microsoft Publisher file, which is just an easy program to do these types of things because you can easily move around pictures and boxes and that kind of stuff. So you're getting this in this lesson as well. All right, so let's cover the example here. So this is the title, Richly Rewarding Living is the name of it. Your monthly newsletter for maximizing life's ROI. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. People personalize their stuff here, their business name, your name, the business principal's name. And then usually it starts with an intro here, and this is always kind of interesting subject on the true story about the second richest man on the planet. This is also a place we always recommend a photo. There's some kind of community news section here, and we've always left this in. What's the deal with the title? Because it's an unusual title, we explain it and explain that, and it's kind of also a relationship building piece right here. So you can see it's a drop cap here, usually to introduce it. Next page, again, always the website, the phone number at the bottom of these things. Is this the second page? Yeah. So this continues on the main article, continues on here. We've got little engagement and response things like quizzes. So this is, sometimes we do fitness quizzes. This is just a general quiz, so it's leveraging the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, which is, became a popular TV show, and using some of that stuff, which is fun. And always sharing some interesting photos, and some that are just kind of unusual. So photos are a great way to engage people in your stuff. This is just a interesting one, the world's biggest dog, and you can see here's the dog and here's a horse. This is Hercules. He's the world's biggest dog ever, and he weighs 282 pounds. So that's a big dog. And you can see, we usually have something interesting, engaging that's just not really related to fitness, but it's a relationship community building tool. So we want to have different things in here. Always feature a client of the month. We recognize referrals and mention the new clients that have joined, which is good social proof of who's buying from you, and also shows that there's always activity. And then rewarding the referrals and recognizing the people who referred here. So having that public recognition of that, inviting feedback to the publisher on anything in the newsletter to talk about these topics or that kind of thing. And then these are usually some little calls to action, closes, different things. You can read that stuff. And then this is a 4-page newsletter. It's usually printed on 11 by 17. Folded down twice to a 5.5 by 8.5 self mailer that's tabbed, or could be stuffed into a 6x9 envelope is the format. But as a self mailer, and there is no need to use an envelope, you can use a self mailer, is fine. This ends up being the copy that's on the outside. So there's teaser stuff here, the Are You Smarter Than the fifth grader, and usually a picture of the client of the month. And then on the address block side, so it folds over. This is on one side, this is on the other. Again, teaser copy, bullet copy of what's inside, and the address block goes here. So what we also usually put in there is flyers that are tucked in before it's folded down and tabbed, a cover letter, and some type of flyer offer. This is an offer here, a flyer that was done this month for a free audio CD on a nutrition seminar. And this is with Dr. Stephen Chaney. So again, we usually have some type of internal marketing offer done in a flyer format, so it's separated from the relationship building copy. And then always usually a cover letter is tucked in here as well. And again, some relationship building stuff, news, interest. Again, sometimes we also drive an offer right here. This one was not. Obviously, this example is not a hard offer in the cover letter. But sometimes we do that as well. And again, this is usually one-to-one, just kind of communication before they get into the newsletter content. So you can review this, you can print it out, review it, look at how it's put together. The main thing is those sections are all key sections that you want to have in a good print newsletter. And I've given you a template to just kind of fill in, so you can play with it, manipulate it from there if you like. And then this is a hot sheet, which is going to give you some good tips on this. Absolutely encourage you to write from template. It's really hard to sit down to a blank page and try to reinvent the wheel every month if you're a publisher. When you're sending out a regular newsletter, you will be a publisher. So if you can have a template like this we've given you, and just have sections that are kind of predefined that you just plug pieces into, it makes production go a whole lot faster and easier. So definitely have sections. This makes it easy to fill in the blanks. You'll notice in this example, the RL newsletter we produce, we have these sections: current news and happenings. We have a photo of the principal and some relationship building copy and news. We have educational and a fun article. We have some client recognition and reward in there. We have referral programming, referral recognition. We have recipe of the month. We have special offer of the month. We have some different involvement devices like the quiz. Sometimes we do things that invite the first 3 people to respond. We're going to do this this month, get this gift, or different things that we do to train people to read and respond. Again, training them to be engaged in your marketing. Again, you should focus on the writing. You should be the content producer and the publisher and the marketer, because that's some of the highest activity of the business. But there's no reason for you to be doing the administrative tasks of printing it, stuffing it, all that kind of stuff. So leverage either an administrative assistant, an intern, a staff, some kind of helper, or drop it off at the office supply store and let them do that. That's not a good use of your time. Do share your personality. The more fun photos and stories you can share, the better. Show off your business is a fun place to be. And just know that if you're just starting this and you don't have a ton of people you're sending it to, that's okay. Response will grow over time, and certainly the more external marketing you do and the more people you get into your database that you're sending this stuff to is obviously going to increase response as well. So the main thing is don't give up after doing 1 or 2 issues and saying, nobody responded, because it does take time. This is a huge retention strategy. So you want to commit to doing it every month and do it for a year. And then you can always tweak the format a little bit, test different offers and flyers and stuff like that to try to boost response from it. But it's also more than just driving new business. A big piece of it is that relationship to retain existing business and leverage referrals. So don't go cheap and skimp out on it, which is a lot of people make the mistake if they try it one time. There's not like instantly a clamor of thousands of dollars at the door, and so they think, oh, this is not worth my time. Don't let yourself mentally fall into that trap. And you definitely want to block time to produce this. I encourage you to get a folder and label it newsletter ideas, and as you get ideas or see magazine clippings or newspapers or get emails with stories that you like or a web page with something interesting, print it out, rip it out of the magazine, whatever the case may be, and start stuffing it in that folder. So you have, when it's time to write and time to produce your newsletter, you have a ton of fodder to pull from. It'll be a lot simpler and faster to produce the content and the piece. Okay, so I think I've covered all the samples with you here. So we're going to wrap up today's lesson. Just to kind of wrap this up, your homework from this lesson is to start blocking time to implement internal marketing. You want to block time to write a weekly email and begin sending it to your list with an offer. Generally that's 45, 60 minutes to write an email. If you're doing an email that's also integrated with a blog post and maybe some photo or videos in there, that can take, maybe longer. It can take up to 2 hours sometimes for me, I know, to do it. But you don't want to belabor it for more than that. It really just you have to train yourself to be fast and efficient in the production here. So, look at those guidelines to be effective with this. And then same thing, block time to write and produce the monthly print newsletter. That's 3-4 hours a month, really, if you're prepared, to dump it in there, format it, get it over to fulfillment, that kind of stuff. That's about the time you can expect in production. Of course, in our VIP program, we give people a lot of speed because we have some, these tools are done for you. So, but everybody we encourage to write their own broadcast emails. You're going to learn so much by doing that, and it really is easy to do and it's fun to do as you get into it a little more and do more with it. And then I want you to commit and keep going with these internal marketing strategies no matter what. If you haven't been marketing to your list, response will be slow in the beginning, but will grow with the more you do and the more time and the more people on the list. So commit to doing it. Make it just part of your weekly life, that you block the time each week to write an email, and once a month you produce the print newsletter. Again, it will pay dividends for a long time in your business. Even if it takes a little while to ramp up. I know many people have helped produce a newsletter, and sometimes it took just a few months to really kick off and kind of get good response consistently. But when you're consistent in sending out the communication, that's also what builds response, because people get trained to receive it and read it, and they're looking forward to having it show up. And then, if it's not there around the same time of the month it usually is, they're like wondering where's it at, kind of thing. So. Have fun with it. It's definitely, a incredibly powerful tool for your business. It's cheap. It's easy to do. So there's no reason not to do it. Do it well and do it right. Okay, that wraps up the lesson for this week. In our next lesson, we're going to cover how to plan, organize, and execute your marketing. So we're going to get into really about marketing planning and marketing calendars. And we're going to kind of sum up the entire marketing level here. to get you ready for your next test. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll be back soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.